It's Monday the 23rd of November 2015 and I'm back in Saffron Walden to do a further walk along Harcamlow Way, and Harcamlow Way goes along that road there. Now entering the first footpath of the walk. As you can see, it's extremely cold and frosty. There's a frosty morning view over to the right. Further on, the path becomes hedged on the right. Harcamlow Way now bears left beside this ditch. Misty and frosty views over to the left. And the path is going to go down into a dip now. In the dip, Harcamlow Way bears right along here. Past that tree you can see. Good footpath sign there. Ashdon is where we're heading, and the walk now follows the edge of this wood. Harcamlow Way now heads along this path, and it will bear left and follow those wires. Now heading uphill between these fields. The weather's getting a bit warmer and the frost seems to be melting. Further on, the path heads downhill with this hedge on the right. Harcamlow Way comes to this lane where it turns left. Harcamlow Way now turns right off the lane along this footpath. Down there, it's actually beside a stream, I think. Convenient bench on the path further along. The hedge-side path eventually joins this green lane and bears right uphill. Harcamlow Way now follows this small road heading towards Ashdon village. The walk goes through the churchyard at Ashdon, and there's the view of the church itself. On the right there's this fascinating old building, the old Guildhall, I think. And now here is a view of Ashdon Church. As you can see, the weather has improved. Harcamlow Way heads away from the churchyard along this path downhill. Further on, the path crosses to the other side of the hedge. A few yards on, with the hedge on the right, the path then bears half left across this field. Harcamlow Way heads out of Ashdon along this small lane and then turns left along this footpath here. The path rises and there are good views looking back the way I've come. The path now follows this hedge on the left. Now heading along beside this hedge, and as you can see ahead there's an old windmill. Now passing the windmill. Harcamlow Way heads along this lane, continuing along from the windmill. The lane leads to this road where we turn left to the end of the wall on the right, where we should take a path to the right. And here's the track leading off the road on the right. Harcamlow Way now follows this line of trees uphill. At this complex track junction, Harcamlow Way takes this path beside those trees. Down there. Further on, the path goes between fields. Further on, the path heads uphill. At the top of the rise in the last clip, the walk turns left down there beside that hedge. Good views over to the left from this track, although it's a bit muddy. Still following the muddy track downhill, it also seems to form the Essex Cambridgeshire county boundary. The walk turns right off that muddy track and passes this interesting building. The walk follows a drive to just before a road and then turns right up those steps along a path along the edge of a wood. Now heading along the edge of this woodland. We now turn right along this fenced path. We are now well into Cambridgeshire. The fenced path leads to the Bartlow Tumuli, ancient burial grounds. Information about the Bartlow Tumuli. Apparently they're Roman burial mounds. More views of the tumuli. Very impressive indeed. Harcamlow Way goes through those two tumuli, through that gap. On going through the gap between the two tumuli, Harcamlow Way turns left along here. Harcamlow Way goes over this bridge over the disused railway line. Now crossing the River Granta on a bridge. That's the way ahead of Harcamlow Way. Now passing the church at Bartlow with its round tower. And here's another view of Bartlow Church. Harcamlow Way now turns right along this road for about 3/4 of a mile. The view further along the road. Harcamlow Way turns left off the road along this bridleway. Further on, the path crosses a ditch and then it follows it on the right hand side. The path heads towards that fir plantation ahead. Now heading beside the fir plantation and the sun's come out again. At this point the path becomes the hedge track. The hedge track ends and the bridleway continues alongside this hedge. At this corner, the walk turns left and follows that hedge on the right. Good views on the right and ahead. Now following this hedge uphill. The walk comes to the main A1307 road, which it crosses directly over. Now across the road, heading to Horseheath village and the end of the walk. Harcamlow Way now crosses this sports field to Horseheath village. Now at the bus stop in Horseheath and the end of today's walk along Harcamlow Way.